Woof! Welcome to Two Dogs Digs and another one of our Tuesday live hall pass. Time for Thrift It or Throw It. Our monthly or so dive into things that you might find at a thrift store. And we're going to let you know what we think we would do with them, but we want to know what you think you would do with them too. And then we'll show you or tell you what we did and didn't and why we did or didn't do it. So thanks for joining us here on our Tuesday hall pass. I got a partner in crime downstairs in a dark light for some reason. We can't figure out the camera lighting on it. And he can't figure out how to adjust
it's Windows 11, the bane of my existence. I have to basically reinstall everything on this computer down here, and it's driving me nuts.
And of course, he didn't go down there until like 10 minutes before the show. So
I was down here half an hour beforehand, and it took me that long to log into the damn machine.
And comb your hair. I saw
you comb my hair, yeah. Had to comb my lovely locks.
Hello to everybody. Hey, Donna, Louette. Thanks for telling me your circa bear because I could never remember. Tina, Janet. Let's see what else we got in here. Kendra, Heather, Mr. Carl, Heather and Bob. Carl, Marianne, Lisa, Jennifer. Hello, everyone. Glad to see you here. Hey, Tamara. Mr. Greg. Hello. How are you? So yeah, today we're going to actually do one of our favorite shows. Now, first off, all I'm going to tell you is the hard part. 21 days. I have not been to a thrift store. Today is the 20th. 20 days. Since actually before December 31st, I wasn't there either. 21 days, probably 24 days. Yep. I have not been to a thrift store. I have not been by a thrift store. I have not even donated to a thrift store. I have done nothing with thrift stores. So I am jonesing to get to a thrift store. But in lieu of that, if Doug's going, get out, go to a thrift store. No, I just haven't. And Rick hasn't gone with me, but he has made me thrift in the house.
I have. We actually did, 6 boxes of inventory?
Yep.
We had a flurry of activity for like 2 hours one night last week. Woohoo!
And then we stopped. No, and then we're almost about to launch our Max Sold. Probably tomorrow now we'll be launching our Max Sold. It's all focusing on toys. I've got like 2 to 3 boxes worth of stuff that is going into the thrift. So I'm doing that. Some of those New Year's resolutions we talked about. It's like sometimes, how come sometimes you have a crown and sometimes you don't? Honey, all of us queens have no idea why sometimes we have a crown and sometimes we don't. So just live with the fact that in my mind, you have a crown, and I'm sure I hope I do too.
I have a crown with a number 1 beside me in YouTube, and I think it's because I've typed the most in the chat.
Oh, I see.
So type more in the chat, and you may get a crown.
Hi, Candace. Joel, hello. Bob fell asleep already. Oh my God. I thought I would break, but I didn't break. I have not broken. I have not done that at all.
There was that one day when you thought that you might drive past and stare longingly. That you made it.
I haven't. Yeah. Yay, inventory. I know. I promised I wouldn't. I said that was my goal. Is I had to sell stuff. One, and we haven't done any real sales on any of the platforms actually in the past week or so. It's been very slow for us. But I have been doing just clearing out and moving through stuff. So that's the goal. But luckily we did find stuff that was in a box that I put together from previous visits. So everything here that we're going to talk about today actually was thrifted or thrown prior to December 15th or so. And so I won't be able to do another one of those until after I go thrifting. So maybe that's my excuse. No, in February. I'm going to go thrifting in February. Hey, Andrew. The store has been very slow, but the books are selling well. We're doing actually well at our
the antique mall.
market. it, which is actually really good. We were going to do a sale for the entire month of January, and I didn't call about it. And
Craig keeps forgetting to call during business hours.
So far, we've actually sold like enough to pay for the booth for the month, and we still have another basically week and a half left before. So we're going to throw a sale on probably for the next 10 days or so, and probably through the month of February as well. The hardest thing is getting yourself up there, because for us, it's such a far away thing. Like pardon my yawning. It's like it takes us an hour plus to get up there, and a couple of times in the winter we actually planned, we're going to go, and then like we literally have it in our calendar to go tomorrow, and now it's going to be a huge snowstorm tomorrow, so we're not going tomorrow. Donna's in the same position. She has to get down to her booth, and if it's snowing, it's sort of like you're trapped. So
well, they actually closed them all 2 days.
Yeah, they did,
because of the treacherous highway driving.
So I think the first thing I thought I'd joke today is every once in a while we talk about a thing. This has got nothing to do with Thrifting to throw it, except I can see somebody really wants to throw it. It was a Facebook post I saw this morning. And so Real Canadians in Canada, Real Canadian Superstores, and I think No Frills and Loblaws all did this giant promotion with Marvel for little Marvel glasses. And I think it was something they did back in October, November, thinking, everybody's going to be buying these Marvel glasses. I went by one of those stores about 3 weeks ago, and there was a little display, and they were $2.99. And all of the glasses all were the same glass, which was Black Widow. But this is what I saw today, actually, in a Facebook post. Look at this. Free. Look at how many are there. They can't even get rid of the damn things. And actually, the funny thing was, underneath this post, there were all these people talking about the fact that they had already seen them on sale for 99 cents, 50 cents. One store actually had them for a nickel. This store had them for a quarter last week. They still couldn't sell them. One saw them in a thrift store, which is probably where they're going to end up, priced at $3.99 a piece. But yeah, it's like, and there's only 3 figures, it looks like. It looks like it's Black Panther, lots and lots of Black Widows, and I can't tell what this one on the end is in yellow.
Frozone.
I can't tell. None of them seem to be looking at the right way. I mean, it looks like it could be Groot from that picture, but
no, it's Frozone from The Incredibles.
No,
a rare misprint.
Rare Marvel misprint. But I just thought this was so funny to see this, and to see people who, like, they literally can't get rid of them. So it's like, I know somebody, there's some reseller who's going to do the wrong thing, and they're going to go in there and they're going to go, oh, mine. And they're going to take a whole bunch of them. And then they won't be able to get rid of them. I know it's kind of the thing that I might have had a trouble passing up on some of them for free, but it's just, and obviously nobody wants them. Groot. I know Black Widow is not that bad, but my God, that's all I saw at the one Loblaws there. Let me just see. I did see something that Rick. Elisa made out like a bandit on Nextdoor Sunday, picking up a bunch of Lego sets, most with boxes and manuals, and some brand new for free. How the heck did you end up getting them for free? Wow, that is like wild that you got them for free. And Louette's saying that she used to have a mall space 2 hours away, and it was a hassle to get there. Yeah, the summer isn't too bad, but so it came in handy to play the I'm a Teacher card. I had to promise to make a donation to Make-A-Wish. $1,000 will let you go. I'll make a donation. I wish you would donate to me. I don't know if that's I don't think that'll work. Sell them to those people. That would actually be a really good idea. Sell those. There's a couple of those around us too that are break things. So we're gonna go and talk about.
I could set up a rage room in our garage.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, it's Thrift It or Throw It time. Let's talk about some of the things that we found in our various ventures through thrift. Now, most of these are me. None of them are actually Rick this week. So for the thing, so he's going to play color commentary on stuff. First thing actually was he's going away. First thing that I happened to see was this interesting thing, and it was a get that Google search in there. It's Havana cigars. So I don't know if you can see that. Let me make it bigger. It's a Havana cigar with Che Guevara on it. It was $4.99 for this, and it's an interesting kind of thing to look at. It's like it's in perfect shape. There's no chips or cracks on it. So if you saw something like that for fine Havana cigars, hey Lucy, for $4.99, what would you do? Would you thrift it or would you throw it? Fine Havana cigars, thrift it or throw it? We're just trying to make sure it's nice and big enough for everybody to see properly on the screen. Oh, geez, that's way too small. Ah, that's way too big. There it is. So what do we got? Thrift. I would use it to troll some people. Thrift it. Canadian Break says pass. Throw. I hate selling those, says Andrew. Thrift. Oh, okay. Pass from Louette. Thrift. I do well with ashtrays. Throw. Cuba is the Gulf of America. No, we do not say that. See if I miss anybody else. I don't know how you would troll somebody with it, but what did we decide to do with this? Did we decide to, Marianne says thrift? Throw. Still chicken to ship breakables. Oh, I see. I was thinking, still chicken? It's not going to do with it. Oh, Tamara is still chicken to ship a breakable. Well, what did we do? We actually kept it. We thrifted it. And it's downstairs by Rick. So he can show it to you if he gets up and goes to the box that it's in, so he can prove that we actually bought it. And the interesting thing about it is we did do a look on this. It was interesting to search for this, because the thing about it, if you do the Google search on it, is a lot of stuff comes up, but it doesn't come up necessarily for places like eBay or things like that. It's a lot of cigar places that are actually selling it. So we had to look up part of it that way to see what other things were selling for. So like here, and are you over 18? Yes, I'm over 18. Now that's interesting because we never saw that one. That's got it for $15. But we had actually seen it listing in a number of different places, and you can see here. Here it lists for $50. Oh. And where'd that go? Where'd it go?
I don't know.
List for $50 UK. It could be a booth item. We actually may end up putting it up there, but we have had it listed on eBay, and we've actually had interest from people on eBay for it.
It's actually a lot bigger than it looked in the picture.
The interesting thing is there is the exact same ashtray made. And where is it, Rick? It's just on one little part of it. It's in gold embossed. It says,
yeah, it would be down here.
Made in France. So somebody made that. And that one actually has sold for well over $100. We've had, ours is up for, I think, 90. We've had offers. We've had one guy who's trying to buy it like 4 times now. And he keeps offering us $30 or $40 for it. But he wants us to include shipping to the U.S. and pay for duties and tariffs.
No.
And I said, no, I'll sell it to you for $60, but you have to pay everything else on that. So, yeah, actually, probably it could be an Urban Outfitters type of thing. So, but if it doesn't sell, yeah, we may move it up to the booth. We may try and move the pricing a little bit on it. It's just
I'll add it to my rage room.
or add it to the, no, you won't add it to the radio. For $4.99, it was an interesting purchase. I think something that, and that's, you want to look for things that have that sort of pop culture link and hopefully see if there's something on that. Speaking of a pop culture link, this is another thing we saw. It is a poster for Radiohead. Oh, there we go. Where's the thing? It's a reprint from what we can tell. It is actually framed. It is, I don't know why that's showing up, $19.99 from a vintage show from 1997. It doesn't, I mean, it looks like a reprint from everything that we could check on it. And again, the price is $19.99. Would you thrift this, or would you throw a Radiohead $20 poster in a frame? Jennifer would buy it to keep. Julie would thrift it. Michael would throw. Thrift. Throw. Woo, thrift. We're doing like buy it, but for the wall, not to sell. Yeah. Throw. So we're running like 50-50 on this. Interesting. What did we decide? Oh, throw. Yeah, I thought we were still running about 50-50 on it. What did we do on this? We threw it. And why did I throw it? Well, the reason I threw it was twofold. One, I thought it was a reprint. And I did a little bit of research on it, and I could only find things like this, which is a reprint of a reproduction poster for 18 pounds. I think I did a couple of other things that I found on it, but all of them were in the $20-$25 mark. So from my standpoint, it wasn't worth the money to actually go and do that. Canadian Brick, what's your name? If you don't mind, then I don't have to call you Canadian Brick, because I'm never sure.
Canadian Brick Cafe.
I know, Canadian Brick Cafe. If you want to tell me your name, I can say your name instead of just Canadian Brick. Otherwise, I'll say Canadian Brick. I actually have never listened to Radiohead, so I don't know what it would have sounded like. But we do keep an eye out on posters. I think that the idea that it was a Radiohead poster was literally what decided to make it $20. But I don't know, $20 seemed a little steep. Looked like it was going to end up being around that as a resale. Especially if I could only get 30 for it. Didn't even want to risk it on a max sold or anything along those lines. Pop culture is one thing. Pop looking is another. This is something that we found. A weird little bear. This is I don't know what the word is for it. This is like a big plastic bear. It's like a solid plastic bear. It's kind of like, there's a kind of called bear brick. It's not bear brick though. This one was $6.49. Now the interesting thing, as you see here, is there were these little pads on its hands, like sticky pads. So I think something in there was missing, because there'd be no reason for it to have these little sticky pads if there wasn't something there. But there were no markings whatsoever on it anywhere. So nothing that could make us say, okay, we must know. A heavy plastic. It's a heavy plastic. So let's see, what do we got? Those bears are with money. I know if it was bear brick or some of the other things, or if it was a Labubu, yes. But with no name, it was like, what do we do with it? Janet says, pass on the bear. Throw. Lisa and Michael are the only ones that are like thrift on this. Oh no, yeah.
Oh, and then she changed her mind.
And now Lisa's changed her mind. Throw. Throw. Everybody said throw. This is like, so I'm going to say, oh, tomorrow wouldn't even stop to look at it. I looked at it because the very first thing I thought of on this was it was like bear brick. I thought, oh, now bear brick, I'm going to pull up
Yeah, it reminds me a bit of the Vinylmation stuff too. And there are some collectors of that type of merchandise that are quite enthusiastic, we'll call it.
This is Bear Brick. And as you can see, there's lots of things in it that have lots of different prices. Some things like these are humongously priced, like $1,000 plus. Like, look at this, $10,000, $1,800 for Bear Brick. If you go by, not a place that I would normally shop, but if you go by some of these funky stores that are in some of the malls, you will see all this sort of stuff that is, it's usually with sneakers. Like a lot of sneaker places do this. And then they also have these Bear Brick. They usually have a Bear Brick figure in their window. I've seen like 5 different stores and malls that have one of like these big Bear Brick figures. I've seen them at Toy Fair as well. And yeah, some of them are really big. Supreme is another name as well. It's a knockoff Coco. I don't know what a knockoff Coco is. But it's kind of interesting. And did we thrift it or throw it? Well, I thrifted it, but it's not in my hands right now. Why is it not in my hands? Because we're actually decided that we're going to put it into a max sold that we've got. Now, here is a couple of things just to show you the type of thing that it is. This is literally like continuity bear sculpture, $43. We found this one, which is actually looks like what it's supposed to be. But take a look at this. Art Z bear sculpture painted tray with the tray. There is the exact same thing that we just showed you. And it's got a little metal tray on it, right? There's all these different ones in here. And whoever this is thinks pretty good because they're listing them at $338 each. So we are actually going to do something that is sort of risky. We are going to actually put this into our max sold toy thing. So we're hoping somebody might look this up. I may even put this link in so that people can see what it is. Because that is the bear. Like that's the actual thing. That Art Z, that is, when you look at it, that thing is that thing. There's no difference between that and that, with the exception of a little plastic tray. So we're going to list it in there. And I think, yeah, that's what we'll do, Rick, is we'll copy that link down and we will try and keep that as a way to maybe see if we can drive up some interest because somebody will take a link to it and maybe we'll get some money.
Yeah, Lisa Boland actually sent a link to a website called Lutia, and that's it exactly.
Yeah.
So it's minus the tray.
Yeah. But it's again, if I'm gonna put a link on, I might as well put that links to something that's $338 just as a link. No solds, can't find it. Yeah, you can list it any price you want, but
that's actually a retail website, not an e-commerce site like eBay or Etsy.
There's actually no mouth on it. It's just a button nose. So next we'll go and take a look at this. This is something, as I was walking through the shelves and just taking a peek, this is what I saw sticking out of a shelf. I saw this little thing right there, little plastic bag, but I could see, I don't know if you can see it or not. I have to go here. I gotta find it. Where is it? Where is that? Where is it on the picture?
Up, right there.
Up, there.
Yeah.
Merrythought. So it says Merrythought, made in England, and here is a better picture of the bear. It was $6.99. It's actually in a plastic baggie. That is Merrythought Shropshire, made in England. And I saw this one actually on a yeah, the little stripe across there, yeah. Luann's like, oh my God, yes. Julie's yes. Julie, I knew because it was plush, you would say thrift. Janet says thrift. Lisa says thrift. Andrew says thrift, but I have a plush problem too. I think a number of us have plush problems. Jennifer says thrift. It does kind of look like a Boyd's bear. It's not, but it does kind of look like. Kendra says, I've never heard of that brand. Merrythought? Merrythought's actually a very big brand of stuffed bears.
It's in the UK.
Thrift. Heather says, I'd look it up.
It's a UK brand.
Yeah. Candace says, thrift. If I had a dog, I'd have a fluff. Kendra, Elisa's never heard of it either. They are very popular. Yeah, Lisa said they are very popular. Marion says thrift. And what did we do with this? We thrifted it too, but it's actually up in our mall because I took the pictures back in October. It's actually up at the mall. Now, the interesting thing is the people who said they weren't sure what Merrythought is, here's just to give you an idea. There are 528 items right now listed for Merrythought bear. And there's various kinds. This is actually, the bear we bought is a limited edition of 200. But there's 1,000 Merrythought bears listed just in general. And if we go to solds, 200 sold. So it is a popular thing. And if we go and look at not just ended recently, but highest price, you can see some, especially Pumpkinhead. Look at Pumpkinhead itself is $600, $19.50.
We sold one of those Pumpkinheads a while back.
Paddington. So you can see a number of different things. Cheeky Bear, $284. Merrythought Teddy Bear, limited edition, 70 of $240. Little Edward from Christopher. So there's quite a few of them that are out there. So don't pass if you do see Merrythought bears. But the challenge is some of the Merrythought bears aren't worth a lot of money. Like, look at this, $17, $5, that sort of thing. So the challenge we had was trying to find this specific bear. And unfortunately, we couldn't find this specific bear. So we kind of did a half and half on this. And we ended up taking it up to our unit. And we have listed it at our antique mall for, I think we listed it at $89. So we kind of sort of split the difference between those couple of $100 ones and this. So we're going to try it up there. If we don't sell it there, we may bring it back down. We may put it on. That's what you like about the show. You'd never look twice at a Merrythought. Well, thank God. That was that. Yes. It's there's a name for it, but I can't remember the name. Oh, good. Thanks, Kendra. Tamara says, my childhood bear might be Merrythought. That white one looks like mine, but yours is brown. Yeah, they usually have a very clear Merrythought thing on them. Now, they're not Boyd's bears, which are very common and worth very little. But as you can see, like some of them are $15, $20. I think we've sold this one a couple of times before, $10. So again, you need to do a little look on it. Like that one kind of looks like it, but that's sold for $20. That actually is the closest I've seen to the one we had.
But that's not a limited edition.
No, it's not a limited edition. So, and again, $6.99 is well worth it. Worth taking a look at. Next up, we're going to stay with plush. Stitch. Stitchy. So I saw this. It was a week later in the same place. This is the Stitch doll. Now, this particular Stitch is Wicked Mischief, so a little pumpkin Halloween Wicked Mischief. And it is $7.99. And in case you're wondering if it's Disney, it's actually a Build-A-Bear. It's from Build-A-Bear Workshop. So what would you do if you saw...
Julie knew that right away.
Yeah, Julie's like, Build-A-Bear. Right, and Julie said thrift. It's plush. You don't even have to answer, Julie. Let's see, what do we got? Julia, throw. So Michael's throw. Donna's thrift. Lisa's thrift. Brick is thrift. Andrew's throw, even though he has Janet's throw. So we got to remember, sometimes the clothes are worth more than the bear. Yes, sometimes the clothes from Build-A-Bear are worth more than the bear throw. Depends. You'd have to carl it. Tina would have to do a carl on it. And for those of you who don't know, we usually talk about this as if you're doing a Google search, you'd actually carl it, because Carl taught us how to do the Google searches a few years ago. Candace says thrift, my granddaughter would steal it. Louette would have to look it up. Throw. So this one, I think we're sitting around 70-30, like 2/3 are a throw. And what did we do on this one? We did throw it. We didn't pick it up. We did research it. We did do a carl on it. And the reason that we didn't was because, now, I thought about it, because Lilo and Stitch live action last year was released, and it was one of the biggest grossing things for Disney. So Stitch is a gigantically huge character, but there's tons of stuff out there. So this is Build-A-Bear Stitches. Now, Build-A-Bear has a tendency, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, Build-A-Bear has a tendency to do a lot of licensed things, and they do them limited edition. They have them in and then they're gone. If you want to think about arbitraging it or buying something to resell, take a look at what's in the Build-A-Bear groups, because like some of the Pokemon figures they've come out with have been gone through the roof. But if we take a look at this, you'll see that some of the Build-A-Bears are expensive. And then as you go through it, and some of these aren't even stuffed, these are empty. But again, let's look at the lowest price. Quite a number of the Build-A-Bears that are Stitches, $8, $14. And I think if I did put this in Build-A-Bear Stitch Trick or Treat, $29. I actually found this one as well, and it sold for, I think, $15 and $20. So from our standpoint, it was just not enough of a margin. We need, especially with plush, we're looking now at trying to get a margin of at least a $50 thing. I wasn't trying to make it a bear show. I'll make it something that's not a bear show, which is another thing we always take a look at, which is yarn. So a lot of people go by the fabric sections, they walk right by it. One of the things that we do all the time is we always try and take a look at yarn. We always try and look at anything that's in the crafty area. One, we can find yarn. Two, cross-stitch kits, things along those lines. So we took a look at this, and this is a couple of bags of white buffalo pure virgin wool yarn. And these were sealed packages of them, and they were $8.99 and $9.99. This had, I think, 3 or 4 in it. There were a couple more in this one. This was another bag. You can see, like, big, huge bags of this stuff. Another bag over there. So lots of bags, and they were $9.99, and it was, here it's called White Buffalo Bison. I can't even read what it says. Bison Blanc. Oh, white buffalo. Oh. Okay, this is me doing the really bad, I'm a French Canadian. So white buffalo, bison blanc. No, white buffalo in French is bison blanc. Rick always makes fun of me because I read things in French thinking they're the English word. There's a couple of things like that. They've gone off the top of my head right now. But as soon as I said bison blanc, I knew I was saying white buffalo in French. So it's just white buffalo. It's just the name. White buffalo. Nothing else other than white buffalo. So what would we do with that? Lisa does okay with yarn. Thrift for other Lisa. Tina sells a decent amount of quilting cotton fabric, but she sews, so they understand. Janet says, haven't had experience with yarn. Donna says, I have a feeling this could be a thrift. I sold mohair wool for good money. All for one say, yeah. Thrift. Candace's pass. Andrew says his Value Village tends to price the yarn up a little too high. Bison will, yes. tomorrow. I knit, not really looked into it for resale though. Throw, knowing nothing. Bluette doesn't buy it anymore. Throw. Heather says she'd look it up. Marianne says thrift. Kendra's no knowledge. Good wool yarns can sell. It's all about the price you buy it at. Tina, I think you've got a very good point there, because what did we do with it? We passed on it. Now, we bought lots of yarn. We've sold lots of yarn. So it's not something I want you to sort of take a pass on, but I want you to be able to look it up. Now, there's a couple of things that you have to try and keep in mind when you're looking up yarn. One of them is, if you have multiples in there, try to make sure that you check to see that it's all from the same color and batch number, because that means that it matches. So if somebody's making a lot of a big like a garment or multiple garments or scarves or things like that, they don't want to have a white or a brown that is from a different color number or color batch, because it could be slightly different in terms of the color. So always try and look for that. Spin them around. If the place that you sell them at sells them in bags, like this one, spin them around, take a look. In this specific case, we didn't buy them because we did a little looking for them. And although we've seen some list relatively high, take a look, 1,400. So if you don't buy wool, 1,400 plus results for white buffalo wool. Number one. There we're talking right there. $19 for 6 strands, $58. And if we go to solds, $155. But where are those schemes? There's one for $14. There's another. So we actually found this happened to be something that was lots and lots of listings, but not a lot of solds. But again, don't pass on yarns. English yarns like White Buffalo, French yarns like Bisson Blanc. You missed that, Rick. I read it out and I said it's White Buffalo Bisson Blanc, and then I realized I was saying, you know how you always make fun of me because I read the French thinking it's actually
Merrythought.
Yes, it was cheese. That was the big one. I said, look, Rick, here's some Merrythought cheese. It's mild in French. Merrythought. Mm-hmm. And he still to this day says, go get me some Merrythought cheese. Next one. So this is away from bears, far away from bears, unless you find a bear riding one. We saw this in Thrift, which is a Tony Hawk Signature Series skateboard. This big, huge hawk on there. And the price on this was, no, that's a better picture of the price, $10.99 for a big, huge Tony Hawk skateboard. There's you can see what the base of it looks like underneath there. I think there's big, huge hawk. It's not a Canadian wolf bird. That's the thing that they're saying, right?
Yes.
It's not a Canadian wolf bird, which is from Heated Rivalry, if you don't get that reference. So again, $10 for a Tony Hawk skateboard. Now it would be large to ship, that's for sure. Let's see, that's Pass, I think. He's from San Diego. Oh yeah, hand more back on the wool. Pass on this. Pass. Greg is Thrift. Greg does lots of sports. Tomorrow's Pass. Janet's Throw. Don't want to ship it. Candace is Throw. Heather is Throw. Elisa's Throw. Kendra's Thrift to sell local. Lisa's Throw. And where's the other one I saw? Mariana's Thrift. So you guys are like an 80% throw on this. And what did we do with it? Here it is. It is large, as you can see. but it's actually not heavy. Now, a few things to notice about it. One, for somebody, we don't have anything to do with skateboarding. I skateboarded once in my life when I was 14 years old and I broke my arm. I skateboarded to the end of our driveway, hit the bump, and fell off my skateboard. That's the only time. I'd won a skateboard. We came back from Florida. It was here's your prize. And I broke my arm. I didn't break my arm. I almost broke my arm. But when you're looking at this, the few things that you want to know. One is you want to note the conditions of the image. So you want to make sure that the image on front is not drastically worn. The other big thing, though, is you want to make sure you're checking the bottom and the image on the bottom as well. And in this case, that's one of the big selling points for us is the image on the bottom made it look like this has barely been used. Now, again, for $10.
Yeah, there's no scuffs at the edges at the back if they were doing any tricks.
A couple of things at the end. This one has been ridden a couple of times, but not tons. There's no cracks or chips or anything like that. And if you take a look, the reason that we bought it, $10, it was actually a 30% off. So no, I'm not taking up. Sports, go sports. This is one of the reasons that we decided to take a risk on it. Take a look at what these kind of skateboards can sell for in some cases. I know this one, Tony Hawk Signature Series, $21. That's not good, but that's actually a 7.5-inch wide. So, but that one's $23. That one's signed. This is the Signature Series. This is another one that's sold for $40. So it's kind of all over the board, but we just liked the look of it and thought, you know what? In some cases, this is a Signature Series, but it's not autographed. These have been autographed, the ones that are worth the most money. But we still like the looks of it. And it's something that we just really thought would be a really good potential for us to take a shot at, especially with a price that was what we consider to be very low. There were enough sold of them, 67 of them, for us to think about it. Team said a good skateboard, you buy the deck, the wheels, the chucks, the bearings, put it all together. Oh, yeah. I have no experience. So we might have done it wrong. Again, sometimes we take a shot at these. It's a viral thing, I guess. Yeah, we'll take a shot. We might even throw it in our Max Sold that's all toys and sports related. You never know. It's just another way around things. Where are we now? We're at the 45-minute mark. Let's see. Go to. This is an interesting one. Got a couple more we'll do before we leave. This is just an interesting one, which is a vest. Now, we picked it up, and it was like this weird-looking vest. It says Tipperary down in the bottom corner. $10.99, and the label is the British Equestrian Trade Association. So it's a horse riding jacket of some kind.
For dressage.
And it was $10.99. No exchange, but it was it's like a foam jacket. This is kind of interesting. It's a foam jacket, like foam bars. I guess so if you fall off, it's you don't hurt yourself. I don't know. But what would you do with something like this? Now, I will tell you in advance, we could not find this anywhere. We tried searching the British Equestrian Trade Association. We tried carling it with Google Images. We tried all sorts of stuff like that and and then after about 5 minutes in the thrift store, it was like, you know what? We're just giving up. We're going to make our decision. Throw. A protective, never saw, but thrift. 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 Carl's a throw. Heather's a throw. Kendra's a throw. So we're like 50-50 on this one right now. It's a weird kind of thing to look at. So if you saw this, and again, this would happen to be a 30% off day, so it ended up being like $750 if we bought it. Thrift. Still gonna say we're close to 50-50 on this. What did we do with it? We passed. We didn't throw it, we threw it. Why would we throw something like this? Well, we talk about taking risks a lot of times, but we actually needed to figure out something that was a reason for us to buy it. Looks like a child size. Pass. Yeah,
Actually, it was an extra large or a double XL. It would have fit me if I wanted to try it on.
Yeah, it was actually bigger than it looked, but again, this was one of the things that we just thought, I don't know if we want to risk $7 on something that we literally have spent like 5 minutes trying to figure out if it's worth our while buying or not. We just decided, you know what, it's not worth the try. It was like time to pass on that sort of thing. And we pass on a few things and we pick up a few things. And next couple we're going to show you are big. And we were trying to figure out what would you do if you saw these things. These are a couple of big things. The next one was this big thing. This is a Mega Bloks Dragons Krystal Wars box. Now, it's not just the box, but it was also all of these Mega Wars things. All of these Mega Bloks. So it was this storage case for it. I didn't even know they made storage cases for them. For the Mega Bloks Dragons Krystal Wars. So this was a bunch of, we're assuming, Dragons Krystal Wars things inside here. But we don't know what is in there. It was literally sort of filled to the brim, as you can see from this picture. There's all sorts of stuff inside. And it was $24.99. So it's a big box. This is not something we would be shipping. Is this something that you are always good to go on or pass on? Candace says thrift. Jennifer says thrift. Carl says thrift. Kendra says thrift. Yeah, that is something that happens sometimes. Ugh, thrift. Brick is Mega Bloks are always a recycle for me. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Brick? Do you mean that they are always get rid of, like they're not worth buying? I'm not sure what I get by that. What do you mean exactly by that? Luetta's passed. Lisa's passed. Tina's passed. Heather's passed. Thrift and break up. Yeah, that's a possibility. Thrift and break up. What did we do? Again, Brick, if you can let me know what you meant by always a recycle for me. What did we do? Oh, they always sit too long and Lego sells fast. Oh, I see. So it's a pass for you. What did we do on it? Well, I'm not going to lift it up because I don't have to, because we did pass on it. And the reason we passed on it was twofold. One was as thrift, the gamble is paid off in the past. The reason we passed on it was simple. We did look inside it. We tried to get a look, and it seemed to be that there were more of these larger pieces than there were actual play pieces. So no, we like part of a dragon, but not sure if it was the whole dragon. And like a couple of pieces that actually is not even from Mega Bloks. That's a Lego thing. So
the gray pieces are actually like a ship's deck.
Hull. They
and
make a
hull,
ship's hull,
but there were missing pieces.
It looked like too much work for too little effort. Now, just as an aside, we did do a little check on it, and the box itself actually can sell. This actually sold $58. It sold with shipping. May not ship to the United States, but the box itself has sold. So we may have been able to flip it and get the money back on it, but not necessarily flip it and get more money on it. Yeah, minifigures make a lot of the difference on there. Mega Bloks are cheap. Legos, cheap Lego. They don't resell. Let me see. Next one is, and I got two more left for you. This is something else we saw on a shelf, and it was sticking out like that. Now, I don't know if you would even look at something as you pass by. This is how my eye goes and Rick's eye goes. Boom, I saw that, and I went, oh, look, what is this? It is a dollhouse. And so we'll pull it out, and this is what it actually is. It is a Somerset dollhouse kit. It was $15.99. It's a wood construction kit, so it's all pre-cut, detailed batten siding, fast, easy assembly, staircase, plastic windows. So it's building this whole little thing. No nails or tools. You get to build this lovely little kit, all wood construction. There's a little picture of it there as well. And it's from 1982 by a company called Artply. It is quite heavy, for sure. It is a heavy bugger. And it is not small. You can see those are Rick's feet. It is not a tiny thing. There's the cart too. You can see how big it is. It's basically the size of a cart. Carla's Throw, Lisa's Thrift, Michael's Thrift. Said it was heavy. Janet's Pass, Marianne's Thrift. Definitely Thrift if sealed or complete. Heather is Throw. And so we got a lot of throws because this is a kit. Pass, too costly to ship with Canada Post. Throw only because of the size and the weight. If I had the space in a mall, I'd Thrift. Otherwise, I'd have to pass. Thrift with a Carl. So Greg would Thrift, but he'd have to Carl it. And that's what we ended up doing. We Carled it, and it's not in my hands because it's too damn big and it's too damn heavy. We actually spent a little bit of time with it in the thrift store and pulled out all of the pieces, and it was 98% complete. Most of the wood was actually still in its, like, still attached to all the pieces that were part of it. We don't have a way to show it to you here just because it's too much. But the reason that we decided to thrift it was pretty simple, because this company, if you ever see something like this, makes kits that can sell for a good amount of money. That's the Allison for $95. But this particular kit is Somerset wood dollhouse. That was the kit that we have. The Somerset. Wait, where is it? The Somerset. And that set has actually sold multiple times. Look at some of these prices. $135, $125. There's the Tennyson. We did actually see it when we looked it up. It had actually sold for over $200. Mm-hmm. So we decided that we had to go for that. We had to take the chance on that. I think they do. I have seen some things that literally in max solds that have shown people going, well, that's sold for a lot of money. Is there are a lot of collectors. Yep. And Andrew's saying Crayon Par is great to ship for stuff like that. And so this was also a $10 or 30% off senior day. So something else we just thought we would look at. So bunch of different things. Hopefully you'll find some stuff that will not be a vest that you don't know what to do with and you pass on it. But maybe you will find, and you pass on that Build-A-Bear, but you'll take a closer look at that Merrythought bear if you see it, since you didn't know about that before. You may take a good look at some ashtrays, whether you thought about them before or not. But whatever you do, pass on the marble glasses. Throw them as far as you possibly can get them.
Or get them all and set up your own rage room.
Yeah, or set your own rage room. Thanks so much for joining us here for another Thrift It or Throw It. We will be back next week on Tuesday again. We're going to be doing another one of our profit pile plunders. So since I'm still not allowed to thrift, we're digging through a bunch of stuff in the house, and I'm going to see if I can find some more stuff. And then Rick's actually going to find some of the stuff that he's bought and hasn't done anything with either. But yeah, we've got shows scheduled now. We're going to be doing them. We're going to be back to our Tuesday nights. This was a little longer than I expected to do, but we will try and keep them a little shorter if we can, like half an hour to 45 minutes. Thanks again to everybody for watching us. If you haven't seen Heated Rivalry, watch that. Otherwise, there's lots of stuff on that's fun, especially if you have HBO or Crave and you can watch the UK version of Traders. It is brilliant right now. I don't watch the US celebrity one because I don't like any of the US celebrities, but the UK one is just regular people and it's going brilliantly. Thanks so much for watching. Everybody have a great week. We will see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Doug says good night, everyone.
Bye.